Welcome to tonight's episode of Ginger Bros Dent Show. We're your hosts, Brandon Schmitz and Andy Patrick. Another exciting show again right now as we welcome Mr. Stephen Hamby with Pro PDR of Georgia and Dent Hogs. So join us as we get to know Stephen just a little bit better outside of the PDR world. Let's go. What's up, everybody?
What's up, y'all?
Y'all have to excuse Mr. Andy tonight. He is not feeling well, and
it's rough. All about here. Not so much here. Not so much here.
It sounds like this.
Yeah, it's bad. It has not. It's been this started the day off rough, and it has not gotten any easier.
So I promised you that if you pass out in the show, I will just mute your mic and we'll continue on.
Like,
so
just like this,
just so we don't hear you snoring.
Yeah, because you will. Ask my wife.
So we got old Josh Dragos and Alex on, and
get over here.
I think I had the same thing, Andy, or that you had. I don't know.
Dragos got the same thing.
Yeah, a month or so ago, it went through our family.
Got Preston on. Jack Bucknell. What's up, guys?
Hey, Preston Daniel.
Yeah, buddy.
What's up? Did Matt let you off in time?
He's got to come. He's got to troll Hamby since Hamby trolls Matt so much. That's who's going to use that as our intro. It's like Matt Moore's biggest troll, Stephen Hamby. Either him or Hayes Freeman. You take your pick.
I guess Hamby can't hear us. I don't know.
There ain't no telling.
We'll see. He may come on and just have to do sign language. Who knows?
I guess everybody's getting it. I used to not have allergies bad, and it seemed like the past couple of years that it's just like made up for all the years I never had it. It's like, oh, we're gonna get you now, you son of a bitch. It's terrible.
So
I made it.
Yeah. We I've been doing crap around the shop for a week now, and Andy's doing crap around his shop for a while now, trying to get it ready. So.
Yeah, Amanda just left. She was painting.
We got Corey Nichols on here. Hey,
what up, Corey.
So sweetheart.
Bruce said he's just sick in the head.
Aren't we all, Bruce? Aren't we all?
That's why we're doing, guys.
So we are going to. Well, first of all, we'll go ahead and put it out there. I need to make a ticker of this, and I'll put it on the banner. But remember, Grant, to before you comment, grant StreamYard permission to see your name. You can go back in the comments. Or the description before the show. Or it's very easy, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Just click the link, it'll grant it. That way we see your name. You may see it when you type it on what you're watching, but on StreamYard, we just see Facebook users. So go do that.
I started the broadcast tonight, so who knows what shit I messed up. I'm new. I don't know what to do. What's up, other Andy? Thank you, sir. Yeah,
Andy Ray, James, and our last week's winner of the longest show for an hour and 41 minutes. Man. And we did warn Stephen tonight that we are not going for the record again.
No, I will be done.
Yeah.
All right, let's
go ahead and bring him on. He's hopefully you can hear some stuff in the background. But anyway, so tonight's guest is Mr. Stephen Hamby, who, or I guess part owner or whatever, owns Pro PDR Georgia.
He's the face of the company.
He's the face of the company, the TikToker of the company, and he has Dent Hogs too, his motorcycle repair business. So
one of the best in the business on that.
Let's bring him on. Can you hear us? Can you hear?
Are you muted? Come on.
just go out and come back in. Yeah.
He's talking away. We're like, cool.
Go out and come back. There you go. I guess that's how you sound that. All right, so we got a show tonight. We got rid of our guest already.
Yeah. Perfect. Too late, James. He gone.
So he was having issues with his connection. He had to get close to his Wi-Fi, and then he
try him again.
There you are.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was just a StreamYard thing.
No, it was something on your end. You may have lent in your connection again.
Man, I've been blowing that. I've been blowing that out and picking it out with toothpicks and everything. Man, it's like it's worse than a belly button. It just keeps coming.
It'll get it'll stay fine for months, and then it'll just get to that point where you got to get something in there and dig it out.
Yep,
that's what she said. I couldn't resist. Yeah. Sick, but I still got a sense of humor. Damn it!
There you go.
So, how was your day?
It's great. Had a good day. Got a lot done. I'm actually gearing up to go out of town for the weekend, so I got some stuff done ahead of schedule.
Where y'all going? Vacation or something? Or?
No, I'm going. My wife's staying here with the kids.
Oh, you're going.
I'm going. I'm taking a motorcycle. I'm going up North Georgia, almost to the Tennessee line, on a like a men's retreat with a buddy of mine.
Nice,
awesome.
So both riding the motorcycles up there. So I got some of my Friday stuff done early today, so that Friday morning I can jet out of here.
Now y'all gonna be close to Tail of the Dragon?
I don't think so.
Okay. That seems to be where everybody goes when they got a motorcycle, if they're going anywhere close.
I've been there twice, and I wrecked on it the second time.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got a little cocky.
Any parts on the
I thought, the first. Oh yeah, I got a part on there somewhere. It's on there somewhere. But yeah, awesome. I guess I was like, I went once and nothing happened, and got a little cocky, and then went a little bit too fast in a turn and didn't make it out.
So my old company I used to work with is originally from Robbinsville, North Carolina, right there at it. And one of the guys now, he's either the sheriff or the deputy there, but he was an EMT for a long time. And I'm not going to go into the stories I heard about Tail of the Dragon.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But anyway,
cars and everything wrecks on it. Some bitch like
I don't see how cars. Well, I mean, I guess just pushing the limits. But yeah, when we were up there, we saw cars getting pulled out of the ditch all the time.
That's crazy.
Yep.
What's up, Ryan?
I always wanted to go up there when I had a motorcycle, and I never made it. Now I don't have a motorcycle, so I'm good, I guess.
Yeah. You can believe it. Tractor trailers drive that road.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a sketch fest.
I know.
I want to get it like on the from the 80s with slicks on the back. That's what I want.
There you go.
So anyway, well, let's kind of get into it. First off, we always get our guests to kind of give a quick background of how they got into PDR, and then we'll get into all the fun stuff of who Steven is outside of the PDR world. So.
I'll do my best to give you a glimpse. All right, so the way I started in PDR was through my dad. He was working as a service manager at a car dealership, and I guess he was getting fed up with that job, looking for something else, and he noticed the dent guy out there working on some cars, and like probably happened to every one of us, he went walking up and was like, "What you doing?" Asked the guy about fixing dents. And at the time, the guy was working for a company called Fix-A-Dent out of Atlanta. This would probably been mid-'90s if I had to guess. And they were hiring at the time, so my dad ended up getting on with Fix-A-Dent and training with them. Dent Wizard bought them out. Then he got retrained the Dent Wizard way. And in 2002, he started his own company. And I kind of grew up. I probably was pushing on like a hood in our garage at like 15. Just tinkering around. So kind of played around with it through high school, and then got into college and was doing it part-time at a couple dealers. And then I graduated college in 2006, and that's when I went full-time. So basically raised up doing it, with my dad.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I tried getting my son into it, and he didn't care.
Yeah. I was about to ask if your dad was Don Cavanaugh, because wasn't he a service? He worked in service and seen the dead guy. I was like, wait a minute, this story sounds familiar.
No, my dad is Don Hamby though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's too many coincidences.
Come to think of it, I hadn't seen him in a while.
James asked if you was motivated as a teen, or did he just make you do it?
I always liked cars, so I was kind of interested in it anyway, just because I got to drive a bunch of different cars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and when I was working with him at his dealers starting out, when I couldn't fix anything, I was just shuttling cars back and forth. So he would just sit there and wait for me to pull up a car. I would just hang out in the car while he fixed it, and then I'd drive it to the next car and pick one up and just I was the porter basically.
Nice.
And then whenever there was a dent that was small enough that he thought I could handle it, he would say, "Fix that dent," and then he would stand over, like head right on my shoulder, breathing in my ear, looking at it, going, "Little high, little high to the left," and I'm just like, "This job sucks," But
well, meanwhile, he was training you to be prepared for retail customers that stand right here.
True.
There's a subliminal message in that training.
Right.
Well, being a porter wasn't bad. I mean, at least you got to sit in the AC or the
That's
heat.
true.
Yeah. Depending on when it was.
You a smart ass, roll the window. Sure is cold in here, Dad.
You need this window up a little bit or down?
I do have a funny story that happened to me before I was, really deep into PDR. We were working a Toyota dealership, and the GM had a brand new Sequoia at the time that he was driving as his demo. Had a dent on it. So, my dad's like, go get it up from the front of the lot and drive it back here, because we parked way back in the back. And I'm driving the car to him, and I literally drove the thing into a light pole in the back of the lot and crushed the front hood, the bumper, the grill. Like, I did $4,000 worth of damage to it. Just crushed it. And there was another vendor there at the time that we were buddies with. He was an interior guy, and he comes running over. And he goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "Man, I'm okay. But when my dad finds out, he's going to kill me." So I made him walk over there with me to my dad to tell him what had happened, because I was afraid. So,
No, you tell him.
Yeah, you tell him.
I wasn't in it. It was the interior guy driving.
I'm going to stand behind you while you tell him so he can't hit me.
Especially while he's holding PDR tools.
Yeah, for real.
That's awesome.
So, what year was that you?
When I went full time,
yeah,
or when I graduated? 06.
06.
Yeah,
okay.
And I'd been doing it through college, doing a couple places, like when I was out of school, after class and stuff. I would go do a dealership.
We're talking to the corpse here, buddy.
Yeah.
Did you die?
Yeah, that's where that was. But did you die? I did not die.
Not that time.
No.
What
That's good.
I lost my train of thought here for a second.
You interrupted
Squirrel.
Nothing.
So your dad, he owns Pro PDR of Georgia, or
yeah, he does. He
or part own, or
yeah, he full owns it, but he's retired. He's not really doing much anything now. Last year he fully retired. He had two dealerships that he was still holding down for a while, and then I ended up taking those over. So now he's fully retired, and it's kind of I think he's got some goals in mind in terms of his retirement. Like, he has some benchmarks of how long he wants to be retired before he completely lets go of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than on paper, for all, practicality, I'm pretty much running everything.
Yeah.
So.
What's up, Kane?
Yeah, I ain't seen Kane on before.
A new viewer. We like.
Was that Kane Bailey?
Bailey. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I know Kane. Yeah, Kane lives in my hometown.
I was about to say, well, I thought he was from down there around your area.
He lives in Griffin. I just haven't ever met up with him down here. I met up with him at Matt's event.
Yeah.
We had to drive. We live in the same town, but we had to drive an hour and a half away to meet each other.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
That's like Jan Yeager. I hadn't seen him in a while. I've seen him at MTEs. Like, we had to go to Florida to see each other.
Yep.
And we live an hour away from each other. So we got to hang out with you quite a bit at MTE. We had a blast. Got to race some go-karts and stuff.
Man, I always have a good time at MTE.
Oh, yeah.
I get all of my tool buying done the first day, and then the rest of the time, it's just like, I just want to hang out with everybody.
I never even made it to all the vendors anyway.
It was nonstop.
It took us 2 days to get dressed.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, Bert and Ernie.
I had fur all over my bed. I bet the maids was like, "What the hell happened in here?"
So, yeah, Easter over at my family's. I hadn't seen them in forever, and they were. I was showing them the videos and all that, and they were just. My sisters were just like, "Oh my god!" Well, I was like, "No, look at the bed. What it looked like when they got through putting the hair on us and cutting it all. It looked like we mutilated a dog on the bed."
That's funny.
But, So anyway,
I
how
enjoy-
long have you? When did you start getting into the motorcycle part of it? Not necessarily opening dent hogs, but like
I think it's been 8 years now. I think. Man, I can't remember the first year, but I want to say it's 8 years. But it's every year it's growing. It's getting more and more and more. And my game plan is basically to, once I fully own it and I can, call a little bit more of the shots without having to check in with him.
Yep.
Eventually, I'm going to give all of my wholesale over to someone, whoever, either whether it's the two guys that's working with me now, or if I bring somebody on, and I'm just going to do retail of motorcycles. And
Nice.
I think by then the motorcycles is going to be, between the two, I'll be full. I'll be busy all the time. So
right.
Now, do y'all have a shop, Pro PDR?
no,
Like
no, we got
it's just all mobile.
Yeah, it's all mobile. I have a detached shop, if you want to call it that, 2-car garage at my house. And like right now I've got a Ram TRX that a guy dropped off that I did a bedside for him on. And I do all my motorcycle stuff in there, and any hail damage or something that's going to take a while, I'll do it here. But I try to do the majority of it mobile.
Right. So getting into motorcycle PDR, did you just see a need for it down there and decide to just go? Did you do any training or anything?
No, I didn't. And I really didn't at the time. I didn't really see a need. I just thought it was cool because I rode motorcycles.
Right.
And I've got a bunch of buddies that ride, and we'll go to Bike Week and Thunder Beach, and we'll do that, and we kind of involved in the motorcycle culture, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that there were tools and stuff specific for motorcycles, I thought, man, that's going to be cool. I'm going to be working on some really cool bikes, and I thought that I'd hit up all the Harley dealers near me and start getting some work. So I bought the tools, and I think the first year I maybe fixed 4 or 5.
Oh wow.
And I think that I either paid the tools back or just came shy of it the first year, because I hadn't done any videos or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just all word of mouth at that point. But after doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, Matt Moore's texting me saying, "You have something in your teeth." And I know,
Look, you checked it too.
And you just checked it too. You're like,
I know that he can't see that I have something in my teeth, because he can't see to pick out the texture in a dent. So I know that he can't. I know,
Oh.
Anyway,
that video of you when you like some asshole pulled me over and get out. That's probably one of my favorites. I laughed so hard at that shit.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But there he is with his laughing emoji.
He said, "Shots fired."
Shots fired. Yeah.
So you did 4
see, now he's
first
derailed
year.
my whole train. I can't even remember what I was saying. So motorcycle PDR. Back to that. What was I saying?
You said you did 4 your first year. You pretty.
Oh
much
yeah. I either paid back the tools or came a little bit over, a little bit under, somewhere around there. Started doing some videos, and then the YouTube videos really got the ball rolling. And now, like you've seen with TikTok and stuff like that, I try to get into anything I see that's going to be a viable means to get my name out there and to promote the motorcycle side. I'm doing it just because I'm like 80%, maybe even 90% of the jobs I do are shipped in from out of state. So it's rare that I get somebody in Georgia. The dealers don't send me anything. I've tried to hit them up. It's all retail and it's all shipping in, and every year it grows and grows and grows. So it's challenging work, but I like it because I'm I ride and everything, and it's just enjoyable. So and all the motorcycles, it's like people have cars that they want to look right, obviously, and some of them it's their baby. But a motorcycle generally is not I'm getting from point A to point B on this. It's usually a toy. Right. So like the people that are sending you stuff to fix on their baby have way more appreciation for you and are going to tell all their friends because you're saving their baby or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have the group the old timers who they want that dent because there was something specific about how that dent was created, and they're not going to, if they want it fixed, they're not going to fix it. They'll just replace it with a new tank and hang that tank on a wall because they'll talk to their friends. You know how that dent got created?
I was drunk as hell leaving the barn.
Yep.
That's funny. When anybody asks me about a motorcycle tank, I either send them to you, Brandon, or Jack, who's watching. Like, I got 3 motorcycle guys. I'm like, one of these 3, just take your pick. They're all awesome at it. So,
yeah.
I know the painter that gets all the Harley work.
Sorry. Something about painter gets all the Harley work.
Yeah.
Harley paint work in my area. Yeah. There's a guy that lives about 10 minutes down the road from me who paints for a few of the Harley dealers around here. So I'm fortunate enough that I've got a good relationship with him where if someone, sends me something that's the paint's busted on, I can farm it out to him. Or if it's something that, I tell him up front, I may not be able to glass this for whatever reason. The paint could go on this, but we can turn it to a push to paint deal. And then I'll get with him. And, we've put our heads together on several things in the past. And, that's helped out a lot. Yeah. I know. He messaged me the other day about I think it was old Honda tank. The whole side was smashed.
Oof.
And he was like, "You want me to send them to you?" And I was like, "Sure, I guess."
God bless.
I'm sure you're like me. You can probably remember your very first one that you did.
I can actually. Well, are we talking about because I had a practice tank that I played with first. You're talking about the first paying job?
Yeah, I would say your first paying job that you.
So
yeah,
my first paying job was a Harley tank, and it was maybe the size of a dime. I mean, by most, it's a small, easy job. And I thought I was going to have that thing rocked out in like 5 minutes. And man, and keep in mind, first time ever working on a Harley, it took me like 2 hours to fix this dent that was the size of like a penny. And man, it was stripping or tank. I don't know what Hudson's saying, but it sounds like he's being a smartass.
He's back on
hands probably messed up his
but yeah, it took forever the first time, and I started to reconsider even doing it at that point because I was like, man, if this small little dent is that hard, I'd hate to see what the bigger stuff's going to be like. But I had also been practicing on like a Kawasaki Vulcan tank that I bought off eBay, which the metal on that's super
totally
thin.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had no idea what was coming.
Jack said, I know the feeling. My first tank, I was like, what did I get into?
Yeah.
I tried, you had your tank set up at Matt's first meetup down there at Easy Dent, and man, I couldn't find my tip. I was like, okay, I'm going to wear like
that. Hey, that was that practice tank, that Kawasaki tank I was just talking about.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so hard for me trying to find my tip. I was like, damn, it's like starting over. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll go back to cars.
Sometimes it is, man. It depending on where it's at and how that. Sometimes I got to put my line board up because I can finally see it with my line board instead of the light.
Right.
Yeah.
You
use lines?
I use both.
Nice.
But
I can't use lines, man.
I was trained on lines.
Gotcha.
And then I went to fog. I don't work on tanks, so Hamby can stay in business.
Yeah.
Somebody's full of shit.
I appreciate that so much.
Hudson can stick his arm down in the
I was about to say, put his hand in there and
just start pushing.
Three finger wonder on
it. God.
Couldn't resist.
I'm glad Hudson's back on here.
Me too.
He'll call me every once in a while. I'm gonna give him a shout out. He'll call me every once in a while and just to chat because me and him are friends and everything. He's like, I hadn't heard from you in a while, and just to drop a line to a buddy and say how you doing. Been thinking about you, kind of thing. And he's done that several times, and I consider him a close friend.
Yeah, Hudson's awesome. We just gotta give him shit because he always gives us shit.
Yeah.
Forearms.
Small hands.
Whoa, small hands, big forearms.
Yeah. Well, I know Hudson's like, he's been on every show there is, but we will end up having to get him on here soon.
As long as he's down for it. He's kind of disappeared for a minute, so who knows?
I know, but we'll get him on.
Stephen, have you been on any other shows?
I was on the PDR College podcast a couple times, and I was on PDR Tool Time. I know I was at least on there once. I may have been on there more than once. I don't know.
That's just a good luck, dummies.
Yeah.
I miss the old PDR college. Like I miss being able to listen to that every week. It kills me if they're not posting
that. Me and Matt actually, and it may have been before that, but that was probably when me and him started becoming a little bit closer and know each other a little bit better, because we did the 7-day sales challenge on there, and it was basically log your sales for a full 7 days, and it was basically on the honor system. We weren't having to like show invoices or anything at the time, but we were all basically racing each other to see who would have the most at the end of 7 days, and whoever had the most would get like a free ticket to their event down in the seminar.
Oh yeah, wow.
And me and Matt were like 2-3 in the morning talking on the phone, and like, what are you working on? I'm still in the shop working on this. And he's like, what are you working on? I'm like, I'm out in my driveway in freaking dark trying to fix a dent so that I can add another $150-200 to my total for the day before it hits midnight.
Oh, totally. Who ended up winning that?
Matt won with, you had hail damage, and then they ended up having a separate winner for someone who wasn't doing hail damage, because they basically said you can't have someone doing hail versus someone who's not doing hail, because just the numbers are not going to be anywhere in the ballpark. So Matt was doing hail at the time, so he got the top, and then I was without hail. I was underneath that. So
awesome.
I was first without hail. He was first with hail.
Sweet.
So we both ended up getting, ticket to that. So that was cool.
Sweet.
Oh, for sure. Was that the one where Kaz was jumping up and down on the roof?
I never saw that in person, but I think that might have been the year before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like 2018 or yeah.
When anyone brings out the technicalities, you know they finished second.
Hey, I was pretty close to Matt for a guy not doing any hail. I'm just saying.
Randy said you famous using a motorcycle magazine.
Oh yeah. Randy, he writes
couldn't
for,
afford his contract.
Yeah. I've actually, Randy, I've got that magazine. If I guess you're watching, I've got that magazine framed and up on the wall in my shop.
Oh, I would too. You gotta be proud of that.
Yeah.
What magazine was it?
It's Full Throttle for, I think it's regional. So I'm not sure what region he writes for, but it was in that one up there where he's at and everything. And I ended up having several of those sent to me. And the guy that the tank was featured on lives in Kentucky. He's got an old BMW tank. And what? Hustler. Yeah, hustler. Yeah. Yeah, I was posing.
Maybe spray my butt cheeks apart and everything.
My phone just wants to keep ringing every time.
Well, yeah, okay.
But what I was saying is the guy that I did the tank for flew his plane from Kentucky to the airport here in Griffin and brought his BMW tank for me to fix. And then when I called him and told him it was done, he flew back down, picked it up again. So I sent him a couple copies of the magazine too.
Nice.
Ooh, man.
You gotta put that.
You started it earlier, man.
I'm about to die.
All right, so let's kind of. So when did you start Dent Hogs itself? So you started kind of getting a little bit bigger. No, I ain't telling you my story. He knows my story.
This is the Hamby show right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about Hamby.
I was in that same magazine, just a different issue.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, because I actually read the magazine article with you in it first. and
I knew which one you were
mine.
talking about, though.
I totally spaced, so my bad.
No, I wasn't. Look,
hey,
it ain't
I'm gonna tell you
something.
something. That tank that you did on there, when I saw the before and after, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That tank looked horrible.
And it was, but I had to. There was only one way to fix that. So
yeah, I hear you.
But it worked out great, and now it's a $20,000 bike instead of $4,000. So anyway,
nice.
Moving on. So when did you start?
Blow it up?
When did? Huh?
Put a body bag in and blow it up.
What did somebody send us a was it a TikTok one the other day that it had the Honda, like the 3-wheeler tank, and he did the compressed air trick.
Oh
like
yeah,
the big tank, and it blew the whole inside up. But if only it was that simple,
right?
Yeah. But
anyway, to answer your question about Dent Hogs, I I basically came up with dent hogs probably my second or third year when I realized it was something I was going to keep going and keep doing and everything. And I noticed that it was growing. So, you know, if it would have stayed like the first year, I probably would not have made a separate thing for motorcycles.
Right.
But now it's through our website, I probably get more motorcycle inquiries than I do cars. So I don't know. And I do spend a lot more time doing videos and pictures and stuff on motorcycle stuff. I just enjoy it more. So I market that a little bit more.
Do you have a separate website for Den Hogs?
I have a separate landing page. It's on the same website, but it's got, like, if you go to motorcycledents.com, it'll take you to the motorcycle section of my website.
Nice.
So if I'm doing any kind of motorcycle marketing, I'll put that website URL on there.
I like it.
Yeah. So who came up with the logo? Because I really like the logo on it.
Yeah, it is cool.
I came up with a logo. So it's basically, and I'm going to go ahead and just tell you, because you all are going to make fun of me. I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm not like a big college ball fan, pro ball. I don't care about any teams, to be honest. I don't follow anything. I'm always too busy doing other stuff. But is it the Arizona Razorbacks? Is that who it is? Or
okay. Arkansas Razorback.
Arkansas Razorback. That's my dent hog is a Razorback.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. But it was red, right? So I stripped the color out, made it brown, and got the bike and did all the clip art and everything. And that's basically what it is. So if anybody's a fan of that team, you can know that's where it came from.
There's not many people that's fans of that team.
Did you just find like an artist online or something to
no,
do that?
I think I ended up paying for I found some site that was selling, royalty for, clip art basically. And I ended up just paying for it. And I had a buddy of mine who was in kind of like graphic design. I had him put it all together for me and everything.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I'm reading these comments.
I'm trying to pop them up.
I can't see any of the comments except for the first, like when it first comes up for a minute. So.
Yeah, because I'll pop it up. Oh, crap.
Gotcha. I see it.
Me and Brandon both clicked on it at the same time then. Yeah, so when we click on it, it pops up on the main screen.
Gotcha.
All right, so we're halfway through. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Here we go.
We want to know, one, who is Stephen Hamby outside of the PDR world? So, marriage, how long you been married? If you're married, which we know the answer.
Yeah.
Kids, what y'all like to do, as a family, stuff like that.
Sure.
So, yeah, just kind of basically, we want people to get to know you as a technician, but more as a person.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason of our show. So,
gotcha. All right. Well, yeah, me and my wife we got married back in 2009. And we have 3 children. So my oldest son, Eli, is about to turn 10, like in a few weeks. And then my middle child is my daughter, Olivia. She's 6. And then my youngest is Micah, and he's 3. So, yeah, so there's 3 of them running around.
I feel old now. My youngest is 10.
Yeah, but you know what? You probably started a lot sooner than I did too.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. But yeah, so my wife stays at home with them, and they run her ragged, and 2 dogs and a cat and chickens, and
nice.
Yeah, we got the whole McDonald thing going on over here.
I love it. I love yard eggs, man. They're the best.
Yeah. We had bees for a while. We were doing beehive for a while. So
that I will not do.
Yeah.
I just something about bees. I don't know. I like hitting them with tennis rackets, and that's about it.
And the honey was good. I extracted some honey, and we had tons of it, and I ended up selling some of it. I actually sent Matt some of it, and Kent Baumgardner got some from me and everything. I can't remember some other people, but we had bees for 3 years and only extracted honey once. So if that tells you how irritating and it could happen.
What happened to the bees? Questions.
Yeah, well, it's you gotta go in the hive like every week, and you get suited up, and there's just a lot of stuff you got to look for. There's a lot of pests that'll go in and kill a beehive, and we just didn't have the time. It says Facebook user. Somebody purchased some of the honey, but I can't tell who it is. But yeah, there's you got all kinds of stuff that will kill a hive, and it was just too hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Was the kids involved with it and everything? They enjoy it?
Yeah. Well, my son, Eli, he was really young at the time. We had a little kid's bee suit. And my wife has some pictures of me and him in the hive getting, looking at the frames of honey and looking at the bees. And he's like totally fearless because he's got this suit that at least he
protects him from everything.
It protects it. Well, it protects you. You can still get stung though.
Oh,
but he had this false sense of security. He was just like, man, this is so cool. And I'm just like, man,
Yeah.
I hope this kid don't get stung.
They'll be done with.
Yeah.
All it takes is one.
Yep.
How many chickens y'all got?
We got 12 or 13, I think.
All hens?
We got one rooster. Yeah, and as soon as he's gone, we'll never have another one of those. He's mean as can be.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them growing up, and there were 2 roosters, and man, every time you walked in, them suckers were trying to chase you and spur you.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't clipped his spurs, so the other day, me and my wife grabbed him and like held him down, and I took a saw and basically cut the spur to like within an inch of his leg because it got pretty long. Yeah. And it's funny because like he'll jump up and try to kick you and everything, but as soon as you like grab him, it's like he just totally mellows out. It's like he's like, I'm screwed. Nothing I can do. I'm not gonna fight anymore. Yep. But outside of PDR, because that keeps me pretty busy. We like to go camping. We got a travel trailer that we'll pull and try to find places to go camping. We had a Airbnb vacation home that we were renting out in Helen, Georgia for a while there.
Yep. And
we like to go see new things. And I'm very much like when I was growing up, my parents had a timeshare in Ormond Beach, which is right on the Daytona line. And we would go there year after year after year. And we probably did that. I don't even know how many years, but they got it when I was young. And I remember still going in high school. Yeah. And it was a good, easy vacation. But I think I got so tired of going to the same place that I kind of vowed that when I vacation now, I want to see new things. I want to go places I haven't been, Right. So, and she's kind of got the same travel bug. So, we're usually trying to plan someplace we haven't been before and see the world,
So what? Y'all didn't own the Airbnb for very long. I know it was
2 years.
Yeah. I remember growing up and going to Helen several times. Last time was in high school, probably senior year, but I hadn't been since. But what made y'all want to buy an Airbnb there? Y'all kind of grow up going there? Or?
I did. Well, it's funny. When I was really young, I would go camping with my grandparents, and there's a campground there called Unicoi Springs RV Resort or something like that. And we would go there, and I bet I went with them 7 or 8 times when I was a kid. And then after that, we went to Helen a few times. Me and my wife and kids would go there, and because it takes me 2 hours to get there. So no, so it's pretty close. And we ended up, deciding we wanted to do an Airbnb, and the neighborhood that we bought the Airbnb in, the property butted up to that campground that my grandparents took me to as a kid.
Oh, wow.
So I could sit on the back deck of that house and look through the woods and see campers in the campground that I used to go to, which was kind of cool, brought back memories. And Helen's a growing town. There's a lot of stuff moving in there. We did, we kept it rented out a pretty good bit, and, ended up being a good investment. But that's all it was ever going to be, was an investment. And with the market being as wild as it is, we had to sell it. And it was just a good time to do it. So we may do an Airbnb again down the road when the opportunities, when the tables turn and we have an opportunity.
You guys need to come up to good old Dixon, Tennessee. We got a nice little state park you can camp in and shit. That's
nice. Called Crackhead Park.
No, we got Bell. It's nice. And we got 2 bowling alleys, so we're good there.
Nice. Awesome. We had bears coming up on the front porch.
I remember seeing pictures and videos of that.
Yeah.
You posting it.
Yep.
So that'd be me. I'd be sitting there, and here comes a black bear up here.
Yeah, there was a mom with 3 cubs that would come up on the porch.
Wow.
Trying to get into the trash can.
No, of course.
Yep.
I know it's had to have grown up since I last, went there, but it was always a cool little place, but back then going with my parents loved going to every stinking antique place there was. And of course I grew up kind of loving that too. But we every year we went to Six Flags over Georgia.
Yep.
Every single summer, and then we'd leave there and probably go to Helen 1 or 2 days, nights, and stay there, and then come back home. But I hadn't been, like I said, I hadn't been there since probably my senior year.
And I haven't been to Six Flags in years. I remember going with a group, and we had a lock-in at Six Flags, and we literally stayed through the night, and no lines, no waiting. I bet I rode the same roller coaster 20 times, just over and over again. Now, if I get on a roller coaster, I get off and I'm finding a trash can to puke in.
Really?
Yeah, I can't take it, man.
We went to Dollywood not too long ago, and the wife and kids rode roller coasters. I was like, I'll be down here waving at you when you go by. I'm out.
Yeah.
I even tried I got dizzy on the Oculus. I was like, nope.
The thrill seeker side of me loves roller coasters, but I mean, the last time I did anything that was even moderately, it wasn't even bad at all. I got off and I was just like, man, I'm just not feeling right, and I just like, I guess I'm getting older. I can't handle it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works. Ain't it fun getting old?
Yeah, it sucks.
So has your kids in any sports or anything?
No. My son Eli is actually taking piano lessons. He's been doing that for a while. He's pretty good. We're looking at getting a new piano for him because he's been working with the one that he's been working with has broken foot pedals and stuff. It doesn't even work right. So it's like, you're going to prove to me that you're good at this first before I invest in a piano.
Right. Yeah, and that's not a cheap investment. No,
not at all. And my daughter is in ballet, which I never thought that I would be, having her in ballet, but she loves it. And my wife, goes to it with her and everything. And I'm usually at work whenever they go, so I don't get to go, but she's loving that and everything. So and then my youngest he's too young to do anything except run around and terrorize the animals. So.
Oh, Jack's a smart ass. He said we're old AF.
Yeah.
I think it's funny we was talking about your TikTok earlier. This like after we had Jack on the shows when you really got started doing TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
Jack was like next day he's like, damn, I just seen Hamby on TikTok and he added me to Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah. The only reason I keep Snapchat is for like 2 people that talk to me on there, which is Jack and then a buddy of mine that's in the military. He was in the military, but I hardly ever use
it. Yeah.
Are you like when your kids get to be teenagers and that all you see is.
Man, these kids
are like, what are you taking a picture of? And you get to looking at it, and it's like the ceiling, the floor, the part of their eye. And I'm like, what the? Well, I can't break my streak. I'm like, seriously?
Jackson Snapchat for life.
He posts all the food that he's cooking on there.
Oh, God bless. The bacon burnt ends. I'm like, dude, stop. Please stop.
I told Jack I want to come up there and go ice fishing with him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be fun.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's got the setup for that too, like that big camper and everything. Like, holy shit. He don't play around. Which Jack is single, don't have any kids, so he gets to keep all his money.
Yeah. Spoil himself.
Yeah, all the food. You ain't lying. I don't know how he eat like 500 pounds either. Like he's always eating good.
His body's fighting to keep him from getting hypothermia.
That's true.
It's like he's consuming all these calories so that he doesn't die out there on the ice.
Dude, I swear there was like 4 days in a row he was eating a tomahawk steak. I was like, how many freaking tomahawk steaks do you have? Like, what are we doing here?
Facts.
So y'all, I remember seeing pictures, I don't know, a couple of years back in that you and your wife like to get the like Legos and stuff that. And
yeah, well, we went to when I can't remember if we did it at Disney Springs or not, but we went and looked at they had a Lego what is the Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we ended up doing a Steamboat Willie, and then we did a like a VW camper bus where the top would like come up and everything. And me and her, the kids would go to bed, and then we would sit on the bed and do Legos together and be like following these books that were like this thick. They're like, okay, where's the steering wheel go? And and when we were done, we were so proud of ourselves.
You're high-fiving. Yes.
She was literally last night. She was looking at Lego sets online, and there was all Star Wars stuff. And she showed me like a Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah,
dude, the thing was $900.
Oh my God,
I was
it's
like,
huge.
whoa.
Too.
Is it? Yeah, it would have to be, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of pieces.
All the Legos.
Yeah.
I know walking through when we were doing our toy drive and stuff and going through Target, I started seeing all this new crazy like a lot of cars and stuff, cool cars. And I was like, told my wife, like, that's what I want for Christmas. Your mom's gonna get the steamboat. Oh, God.
I know if I'm reading Matt Moore's comment, it's going to be something like that.
Oh yeah. So
He's the your mom joke king.
Oh, Kevin Bird. I don't know.
No, Kevin
Bird's-
Bird would probably be the new mom.
stop. It's a Lego typewriter for $200.
Goodness. I hope it works when you get through with it.
Yeah, right.
No, I started getting some of the cars, and so that's what I told my wife, so I can make a shelf in here and line them. So every Christmas, that's what the kids can give me.
Yeah.
One of the nice new, cars, Lego cars, and I'll sit there and put that sucker together.
Didn't you tell me? I can't remember this. I think this was you. Didn't you tell me about somebody coming into your shop and destroying the Lego thing that you?
Yeah. So I put it was so the one I got Christmas. It was like a Stingray Corvette and like one of these racing ones, and so I had them together, and they were right on the top of the counter here on the desk. And this lady come in and had her little, probably 1.5-year-old, just being obnoxious. Anyway, I wasn't paying attention. She said, "I'm giving him this car so he can play with." And then all I hear is, I'm like, and then she's like, picks all the pieces up, puts them up there. Here, you can put that back together. I'm like, oh, it wasn't for you to play with, number one.
Right.
But I did use one of the drivers for that midget TikTok one.
Oh, I saw that where you flicked the guy across the room.
That was the driver for the race car one.
Nice.
Poor guy. He didn't make it. My wife said I was mad. I was mad at that. No, it wasn't really the kid. Mad at the mom.
Right.
Yes, it's never the kid's fault. It's the parents.
I mean, I did have them where I did move them after that point.
I bet. Do not touch kids. These are mine.
Now you have to come through the German Shepherd to get them. Anyway.
God.
Oh man. So yeah, we got a little we'll pause here for a second because we're gonna do another giveaway tonight, guys. Andy's gonna give stuff away.
Yeah, I'll make Brandon not have to pay for shipping for once. So
he's giving away glue and a carrot.
Yeah. Hope you're hungry. So this is one of Anson's new knockdowns. I think they took the plastic from the Connect system and made a couple knockdowns. So check it out. Somebody will be winning that tonight. I don't have any swag to give away, so I had to throw something extra in there. Some reason I don't have our own swag.
We were texting back and forth trying to come up with a question while Steven was talking. So I'm gonna add to the question that we came up with, and I'm gonna say there's you got to answer 2 answers, but before we go, if you're gonna participate, you can't be somebody who's won something already, and if you already have any of this glue and knockdown, don't answer. Let somebody.
We're wanting to get it in as many people's hands as we can for Vinene. He's wanting feedback on it and stuff. I love it. I was using it on a Z3 hood today, and it was pulling like a boss. So I've been nothing but pleased with it.
So the question is, what is the name of Steven's motorcycle company name, and what year did it start?
Ooh, he threw a little twist. I didn't even know that twist.
First one to comment both.
I'm trying to think of the answer to the second part of the question.
Well, didn't you tell us?
No.
I thought you told us.
I said how many years. Oh,
that was PDR. Okay, well then what's the name of his motorcycle? Sorry, I thought somebody was commenting. What's the name of the motorcycle business?
We got it. Alex Pollock got it.
Okay, and then I was going to say, what's the year that you started?
Started. Yep.
PDR. So he got it right.
Congratulations, Alex. I will message you when we get off and get your address and stuff and send it to you.
Yeah, you'll love the glue and you'll love the knockdown. I tried
Steamboat Willies.
2018.
The mascot.
Did harm what? What?
Bruce is getting older. He's getting senile.
Roll with it, yeah.
Oh
Jackson,
yeah.
Bingo. Everybody, I can't keep up right now. You're welcome, buddy. Yeah, we hope you like it. It's like I said, I got nothing but good things to say about it so far.
Stupid contest rules. Says James Bernard, who wins everything there is.
Yeah, and when he don't win, we give him shit anyway. So, like, I don't want to hear James gripe about nothing. Y'all got to excuse me while I wipe my watery nose with my glue rag.
Does it have alcohol on it?
Yeah, that's what it's trying to
Start
stop
burning your nose and everything.
Look, Josh agreed with James. You know, you got some glue.
Yeah, you just won.
So
But anyway,
yeah.
You got anything coming up work wise? Anything special? Any kind of cool tanks or anything? I know that one that looked like a freaking dragon or something you just had. Like
the scales on it. Yeah,
That's badass.
That guy was actually a Georgia guy. He was up in Woodstock, Georgia. So he was a firefighter and drove it down and dropped it off with me. And the headlight fell out and was like bouncing on top of the fender while he was riding. He didn't know what was happening. So it was like repeatedly just all across the top. And I just took a Kawasaki tank to the painter to have him paint that today. I got a Harley tank I just shipped off, and I've got another Harley tank came from New York. So that video that you saw that I did on TikTok of the box that was all ripped open, which, oh my gosh, like I don't know how many comments that thing had. I had people ticked off. I had some postal workers ticked off.
I know.
Yeah, people,
they were
postal workers going postal.
They were. Oh yeah, I told that guy, don't go postal on me.
That was hilarious.
Just something mildly controversial as saying, hey, don't ship stuff to me by the post office because it might not make it here. And then, man, it's like
that's all it took.
It blew up. But I've got to ship that back, and I'm just waiting on payment on that. But the guy, I actually, and I'm blanking on the guy's name, but somebody in one of the Facebook groups had posted, does anybody want to take this job on? And I basically volunteered for the job, and the guy shipped it to me, and I fixed it, and now I've got to ship it back. And luckily, I had a box laying around here that it fit in, and I'm sending that one back. And today I had a Honda CBR tank show up. So
nice.
So it's like within the last week, there's been 5 or 6 of them, cycling through.
I don't know
if
you
bike
can...
was a CBR F4i.
Oh yeah. Is that BMW that you did?
Yeah. So he just sent me an email yesterday. He said, "Just thought you'd want to see this 53-year-old Beamer put together, and she sure is pretty, pretty or something like that."
Yeah.
Oh, he loved it, man, and
that's good.
It was a fun one. Yeah, it had a lot more dents on it than even the fender. Even when he brought it in, I'm just focused on that one until I start looking at the front lip and it's cockeyed, and the back one back there had 2 creases and kind of rolled up. So
if you're like me, so let me ask you, if somebody sends you a tank and it's got like one notable dent on it or whatever, and you give them a price for that, and then that shows up and it's got like a little tiny, like real quick dime size next to it, do you have trouble? Like I fix it. I always
just fix it.
Yeah, I do too.
But this one, and I'd already sent you pictures of it.
Yeah.
He
had so much more than he told you.
There were 10 total dents on the tank, but he didn't even know. I'm like, how are you missing these dents?
Yeah.
That are on it. But super, super nice guy. His wife was super nice. And they I texted him, said, "Hey, it's ready," or called him, said, "Hey, it's ready. Just whenever you're ready to come." He said, "Oh, it won't be today. This was last Thursday. It won't be today. It'll be tomorrow." Okay. So we went to lunch, and then my camera goes off, and because he was over an hour away, and here they are, just showed up, didn't call me. So they had to sit out front until we got back from lunch. And he's like, I just had to come get it. Okay, here you go.
Somebody's asking if that CBR is from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It was actually from Key West.
And then Josh Dragos is asking if you ever think you'll do in PDR training one day.
I don't know. I don't know whether there's necessarily a need for it, to be honest.
Right.
I didn't have to take any kind of special training to be able to do it. I mean, if you're already a PDR technician and you're proficient at fixing dents, and if you can fix complex dents, then other than buying the tools and then getting a few tanks under your belt to learn, access and stuff like that and what you're pushing. The closest thing I can relate it to is if you're pushing on like a classic, like an old Chevelle or something like that, that's original panel, something real thick.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'm not opposed to it if the industry says it's needed. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not convinced that it's needed.
Jack's the industry, and he said it's needed.
Yeah, the class they will come.
That's a good idea too. He said build a video course and sell it for anybody interested.
Well, that actually exists already.
Oh, really?
And, in Dent Trainer.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an MPDR video course within Dent Trainer. I'm not exactly sure how you would look it up. I guess if you go on their site, if you're a member, you search for Motorcycle Training, Motorcycle PDR, and I do have a series of videos in there.
Nice.
So I did that.
There you go.
me and Mike did that last year, I believe. So.
Like I say, you got a very good speaking voice too. Like on your TikToks and everything, like I don't know, something about your voice when you're talking. Like you sound very professional. I know the real situation, but you sound professional.
that's what 5 and 6 takes for every clip will do.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I need to do videos just showing all of the B-roll and stuff like that.
I wished I could, but it'd be just F-bombs. That's all it would be, left and right.
Yeah.
That's what
I got Dent Trainer too, Jack, and I don't ever think about it. I'm like, oh crap.
One of the first ones on Dent Trainer way back in the day was actually Harley doing one, and before the Vice and all that was even out. And so like my very first one, my dad had a transmission jack. It's like a table, and I strapped that sucker to it, put a board under it to make sure it didn't rock. I had straps going over that thing, and I'm standing on the bottom edge of that thing, leaning completely over the tank to get the leverage on it. Luckily, I got it all out, and that was the very first one I did for Harley here. And then I built my Vice.
I actually have to backpedal on something because I realized I told you guys a lie.
Uh-oh.
So
imagine that. God.
Yeah, it's my bad. So, but it's a funny story. It brings up a funny story. So. Awesome. The reason I started getting into MPDR is because I actually had a customer ask me if I could fix a dent on his tank, and he drove his bike to one of the dealerships and showed me and it was small. It was like a pea-sized dent right near the gas fill on a Harley. And at the time I had none of the tools, and I said, I don't know. I don't have anything that's going to reach there. And I remember him telling me, well, I'm a metal fabricator. So if I was to fabricate, I've seen what your rods look like. If I was to fabricate a rod that would have the right angle on it to go inside and push that dent out, would you be willing to try it? And I thought, this guy's never driving this bike back over here, so whatever. Yeah, sure. Well, the next week, dude shows up again, and he's got this like piece of rebar basically that he's bent, and he's put like a rubber sleeve on it for like a hand grip and all this stuff. And dude, I put it down in the tank and I fixed his dent right in front of him. And I was like, huh. And he said, would you accept the tool as payment? And I was like, sure, man. Whatever. Whatever. You watched me fix it in like 10 minutes. So yeah, sure, whatever.
It's kind of hard to battle that.
So at that point is when I got the practice tank and I bought the Vice and everything and started getting into it because I totally forgot about that. But the funny thing is I still have that tool that he made hanging up on my shop wall, completely rusted out and everything. And it's, it's just there as a reminder of how I got into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So sorry for omitting that earlier.
Oh, you're forgiven. It's okay.
Yeah.
I promise.
I'd like to get into it now that I got a shop to where I could have a place to put a Vice and all that. I wouldn't mind getting into it. Yeah. Basically, I'm like Jack. Like Jack says, it's good filler work for the winter because nobody's driving their bikes, so you get tanks easier.
Yeah. And I tell guys that are like, if I have anybody ask me about it, if they're considering getting into it, if a lot of the times the question I get is there enough work? Is it, is it worth it? And for the amount that I have shipped into me, I mean, I know that there's guys that are qualified to fix it, that tank is driving past to get to me. They either just don't want to do it or don't have the tools or whatever. And if it's, you got to love it. You got to it's not for everybody. But if people are interested in it and the holdup is I don't know if there's enough of a market for it, I think there's plenty of meat on the bone.
Well, awesome. you've got to market it too.
Yeah.
But that's what I was telling Andy. I was like, now that you have a shop, there's no excuse to when you start getting everything lined out, put you a Vice in there because I know he can fix the dent. It's not that. It's getting the tools. And
I don't know, man. If you see me struggling at Matt's meetup on his heavy stuff,
that's just you just got to get used to it, man. It's just it's a weird. if you've never done it, it's awkward. You know, the body position that you get in is awkward. So, you know, there's a hump that you got to get over, but I don't feel like it's that bad, really. And in terms of the tools, I mean, honestly, I mean, look at what some of the PDR tools are costing that we easily throw money at and buy and stuff. I really don't feel like the startup cost for it is that bad, to be honest. You know?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you got into it, you pretty much paid yours off in year one, so there you go.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's just getting into it.
And get
Speaking
you
of tools
your
and throw-
practice tank.
Yeah.
How'd you feel at a drunk tour review when your Vidine threw your tools across the hill? I just thought of that with tools, and then I heard throwing. I was like, wait a minute.
I was just like, hey, you know what? I kind of expected something like that to happen anyway. But the thing is like, it's always fun since I don't drink to like go to stuff like that and see everybody else get sloshed.
Oh yeah, I had a
because
blast doing that
I
for
get to
sure.
see everybody. Let me see, where's my hand here? I get to see everybody start here and then just start going down and down as they drink. And then I'm just like staying here watching it. And I know half of them aren't going to remember the stuff that's happening, but I get to like keep it all up here. And it's a fun, it's fun to be the spectator.
Yeah, I had fun this year doing that. It was a blast. Me and you sitting out there like 2:00 in the morning watching. It was like, God dang.
Yep.
That used to be me.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
What?
Andy? The drunk tour review.
I watched enough to see John Vidine throw Hamby's handle across the freaking.
Well, man. So when they went up there to kind of get on and start doing it, see, we had just got back from dinner that night, and I was standing, but dude, my back was hurting bad that night. And so I went up there, and I'm like, it just kept getting worse and worse. Finally, I'm just like, I gotta go to bed. I can't do this.
Yeah, I went to
If
bed
it wasn't
early,
hurting,
like,
if it hadn't been hurting, I'd have been in there with you.
I had an early flight the next morning, so I snuck out like 9:00. I went to bed. I was like, deuces, I'm out.
Well, Jack caught me in the hallway, and I was coming back from the show with a bunch of tools. He's like, dude, they're doing the tool review, and we need more tools. Bring your tools that you bought. So I like go running up there with bags full of tools to try and show off some of the stuff.
And it's just getting tossed.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim, you caught us. You caught us about like we're finishing up. It's all right. People do that all the time.
Be better, Tim. Be better. Be early next time.
You could have won this, Tim, if you'd have been on time. But
so I'm gonna go back to Andy Ray said half the tanks I look at have a double liner inside of the tank. I know none of them I've ever fixed have had a double liner. No. A lot of people say that, and
I've heard that too. I've never come across a tank with a double liner. If it's a Harley tank, it's not gonna have a double liner. I mean, I've done Hondas and Kawasaki's and Yamahas and Ducatis, and I've never ran into a double liner. I've ran into limited access because the backbone is high. I've ran into areas that I couldn't reach because there's no opening near the dent. But I've never ran into a situation where there's access, there's a gap. I get the tool in there and push on the back of the metal and can't because there's a second skin inside the tank. It just, that doesn't happen. Now,
I was going to say, it's not saying that somewhere out there's not one, but I haven't.
Well, for example, like if you've ever seen the Harley V-Rods, the cover is actually not a gas tank. It's an airbox cover.
Yeah.
And that is a double skinned piece because it's like paper thin. I've never been able to fix one of those. That's the only one that I can think of that I've ever seen. Now, there are situations where a tank might have like a vent going through it, like a vent tube for the gas, like an overflow vent or whatever, where it might have a bar inside there that can kind of get in the way. But most of the time, the skin is just one layer.
So Andy, what kind of bikes are you seeing that on that you think? I mean, I'm just curious.
So it's just metal in the tank.
Yeah, tanks are just metal.
Yeah,
it's like that BMW I just did.
There is a coat. Well, someone said there's a coating to keep them from rusting. So I've had tanks come in. Well, I guess the process now is a little different because the brand new ones aren't like this. But I've had, 2006, 2007 models come in where the entire inside, all of that, it looks like primer. It's gray. It's just bubbled up and peeling and chipping already anyway. Usually what I'll tell people to do if they ask about that is, they'll say, should I coat the inside of the tank? Should I apply a coat or some sort of protective coating in there? And I try to avoid using metal tips inside of a tank if I don't have to. The only time I'll use those is if I have some really sharp texture I'm trying to get out. But by and large, I'm trying to be mindful of that. But, you know, it's not a bad idea to recoat the inside of the tank, especially if you got a pretty sharp dent that's going to require a lot of pushing and stuff like that.
So that the BMW one I just did, that 68 model, it first I just was putting my rod in there with a rubber ball on the end just to see if I could get to that back one because it was soft. And I'm just kind of measuring it, and I stick it up there, and I pull it back out, and there's a chunk. There's a chunk of that somebody had recoated that at one point, and it just it was flaking off.
Yeah.
I told the owner about it. I said, "Look, this is somebody in the past has tried to recoat this, and didn't do it right or whatever." But
the way I look at it is one of two things. Number one, what's the alternative? Are you gonna sand it down, body fill it, stud weld it, which you can't even stud weld. You can stud weld a Harley because the metal's thicker, but if you get into Yamahas and stuff, you're going to burn a pinhole right through it and rip a hole in it trying to stud weld it. So unless you're going to mud it full of Bondo, I mean, what we do is going to offer the best type of repair unless you're just buying a new tank. And then if they want to coat it, they can. If they don't have to. I mean, honestly, it's not going to rust unless it gets moisture in there. If it's filled with gas, it's not going to get moisture. It's usually when they sit empty or half full or whatever, they can start developing moisture in there. But I haven't ever had it be a problem.
Yeah, that's the only one that's really ever flaked on me, but it wasn't original.
Yeah.
But I was real careful on them hand painted pinstripes on there. I did polish close to them just to do, and I told him, I said, be careful, if you decide you're going to polish this thing, I said, because it'll rub right off.
Yeah, I've polished on some single stage paints before where like it'd be a black and the buffing pad would turn black.
And this was single stage. Yeah. So everything was black. I had to go try to wash it all out. But at least it made it look good.
Somebody, I think, asked a question just a second ago about glue pulling on a tank.
I think Bruce said he glue pulled a V-rod.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm always weary about glue pulling on tanks.
I haven't glue pulled a Harley. I've glue pulled on some of the thinner gauge stuff.
Yeah, I think I glue pulled a Yamaha. But that's it. It was small and light.
Yeah.
But thing is, too, like these custom paint jobs, like nobody wants to go back and redo that shit. So if you can push it out, the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's that TikTok video I just had recently with that number tank. Y'all saw that one where somebody had tried it already?
Yeah.
That was rough, man. That was really rough. So basically, the customer didn't know that had happened. I didn't go into all that in the video, but the customer took it to his Harley dealer, found me online, told him that he wanted to have them ship it to me, but he didn't know they had already shipped it to a guy or had a guy come by and get it, and the guy had it for 3 weeks.
Ooh.
And then said, I can't fix it, and sent it back. And then when the dealer called me and was trying to get my shipping address and everything, they said, yeah, our dent guy up here had it for 3 weeks and he said he couldn't fix it. And that was the first I'd heard that. So I said, 3 weeks? And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay, send it on. And I knew it was going to have push marks in it because there's no way he just sat it on the shelf for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it showed up with all those push marks in it. And the first thing I did was get a light on it and video it and send it to the customer and said, look, I just want you to know up front that it's already been tried. I'm going to do my best to save it. I think I can save it because there's a lot of clear on these, but I just want you to know ahead of time, just in case, just covering my butt, just in case I wasn't able to slick it out.
I don't understand.
It was a numbered tank.
Oh, damn. I don't understand somebody's logic when it's like you made a mistake on the first push. Like, just stop. Don't try anymore. Like, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's those same dent guys that can't fix a dent, wants to try it. And one they don't have the know-how, they don't have the tools. They just, but at least he did stop on it before he.
He didn't crack the paint. He didn't crack the paint. He put about 10 or 11 sharp high spots in the center of it. But
so I don't use bare metal either. I will use a metal. I won't use anything real sharp. I'll use like the almost like a R8 is about the smallest I'll go on the metal, the solid metal like R8. But I'll put the tester tape on it just to keep it from scratching that inside, but to get those fine little tiny pushes. And you keep freezing up on my end. It looked like you were asleep just a second ago.
I know. You froze up for a second too.
Yeah.
Right when you said tiny in your hand,
Like,
you look like you were saying something so profound.
have you seen that TikTok or whatever? And it's got like it's like a Zoom meeting, and they're all like acting like they're frozen, but stuff's still going on in the back. Or that one dude,
I see the TV behind you. You're not frozen.
He's like, and so-and-so's eating chips. He's like, that's awesome.
I'm just sitting there being a mouth breather right now, looking like a nubby.
It's fine. Well, we're over an hour. We're an hour 10, so we'll go ahead and cut the show and let Steven get back because he's an hour ahead of us. So
that's all good.
His wife and kids want him back inside.
Oh,
and, and kids are asleep already, probably.
I wish
About
I
8-10, yeah.
It was too.
So yeah, hey, we we appreciate you coming on, Steven. I'm glad I finally got to meet you and really talk to you, Matt's, and then even more at MTE, because we just got a lot in common. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
we were not too far from each other.
Yeah, I know. That was like me finding like Johnny Cinco. He's in Montgomery, 2.5 hours from me, and then I met another dent guy the other day. He's just north of Birmingham, so I didn't even know these guys existed.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of guys out there that we don't know exist because they're sleepers. They're not in social media or anything like that. So
yeah, you're right. So yeah, everybody else has been watching. Thank y'all and comment and everything. And congratulations. It was Alex that won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex winning. Andy will get all your info tomorrow and send you the goodie bag. Hopefully he remembers and sends it out pretty quick, unlike me with Josh, and I waited a month to do it.
I got you covered, buddy.
So anyway, hey, again, thanks again. Steven, we'll put you in the back room real quick while we watch the outro video, then we'll say our goodbyes here in a minute.
All right. Good show, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yes,
appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong button here. All right, here we go. See you. Thanks for joining us this week on another episode of Ginger Bros. Don't forget to catch all past episodes on Apple Podcast, YouTube, or Facebook. You can follow us on all social media to get updates for each show and anything else we have going on. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts to help this show grow. See you next week.